Hello, I'm Richard Ridge. Last week we announced our winners of Broadway World's singing competition Next on Stage Season 3. We're back today to talk to them about the competition, the fantastic advice they got from the judges, and so much more. Now, the winner of our high school competition was Jackson Perry. Now, Jackson started off the competition with singing Enjoy the Trip from Bring It On and continued to wow the judges throughout the weeks with his voice, especially in his final performance of Endless Night from The Lion King. Now, with his win, his chosen charity, the Fund for College Auditions, will receive a $1,000 donation. Here's a clip of Jackson.
Yes, I know the sun will rise. Yes, I know the clouds must clear. I know that the night must end. I know that the sun will rise, and I hear your voice deep inside. I know that the night must end and that the clouds must clear. Oh, the sun will rise. The sun will
Welcome, Jackson Perry.
Hi!
Hey, Jackson, that is amazing. That was so terrific. Okay, now joining Jackson is the winner of our college competition, Mia Charisse Hall. Now, she finished out the season with Fly, Fly Away from Catch Me If You Can. With Mia's win, her chosen charity, the Actors Fund, will also receive $1,000 donation. Here's Mia.
I'll be your alibi, my baby. Fly, fly, fly away. We didn't get to say goodbye. Goodbye, no need to tell me why, my baby. Maybe it's because you'll fly back home to me one day. Maybe it's because you'll fly back home to me one day. Maybe it's because you'll fly back home to me one day. And I'll be waiting for you there. You will fly back home to me one day.
Welcome, Mia.
Hi!
Listen, did you two meet up before today? Did you get to know each other at all?
No, but we texted like DM back and forth, but I need to get to know this man a whole lot more.
Yes.
I love this. Okay, so this was season 3. I'll tell you, the judges and I, we had the best time. I mean, it was so hard getting to, the final 3. And then we were so excited when we got to read both of your names. What I want to ask the both of you is, what made you each want to do this in the first place? Mia, I'll start with you. Like, what gave you the nerve to say, I'm going to do this? I'm going to enter this competition.
Well, I heard about it because of season 2. My friend Tommy won the college section. Love the man dearly. And through that, he was like, "You should try it." I was like, I guess for fun. I don't know if anything's gonna come out of it." But he was like, "No, just try it out." So I did. And lo and behold, something did come out of it, and I've never been more grateful in my whole life.
See, Jackson, for you, what made you say, "Yeah, I'm going to do this," or "No, I'm not"?
Yeah. I had a friend. I'd seen the other seasons of Next on Stage, but a friend was like, "There's another season coming up. You should do it." And I was like, "Might as well." But also, I hadn't really sang for an audience in a while, so I was like, "Let's sing for an audience for like the first time in a long while, and it'll be so nice."
Okay, so we have to talk about this because I've spoken to stars all around the world during this pandemic, and everyone has gone through the same thing that you've gone through. What were these 14 months like for you, like leading up to the competition? Like, what was life like, trying to learn how to sing and, virtually, what was it all like for both of you? Mia, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like right before the pandemic hit, I was in rehearsals for Footloose, my senior show in school, and not being able to do that was so sad. But we've got to learn a lot about like self tapes and like virtual productions that you could possibly do. And like while it's different, like incredibly grateful that we can at least do something, and that is slowly but surely coming back. So.
Great. Jackson, for you, like what were the 14 months like? Were you doing a show? Were you in rehearsal for a show beforehand? What was it like?
The show that I was doing was actually Bring It On, which is why I chose that as my first.
Oh.
And I was that role, and then it was canceled, which is happened to everybody. And then COVID came, and I was actually really blessed. I transferred to a arts boarding school, UNCSA, for high schoolers, and I actually got to have my entire senior year of high school in person on campus. So I was very blessed. A lot of our classes were still on Zoom, though, but we learned a lot about self-tapes, and it was kind of innovative, and I really appreciated it.
So for both of you, like, the judges were really hard on you on self-tapes, which they are on themselves. Sometimes they would do 32 takes at home. So how did you master all of that? And what was it like for each of you? Jackson, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I actually had a lot of practice recently because of the college audition process. So I was familiar with self-taping and like where to put my camera, how I wanted my lights. But it was a little bit different this time because we needed a new song every week. And so I was self-taping a lot more frequently than I did for the one time that I filmed pre-screens for college. And so I had to learn how to pace myself and how to charge my camera. That was a big thing. And charge all of my electronics. That's not something that I thought was going to go into this. So just seeing like the technical aspect of self-taping was really interesting. And this competition helped me to find my way through that.
Beautiful. Mia, for you.
Yeah, same. I had a little bit of experience with self-tapes because of college auditions and stuff before and what have you. But I didn't know like how much seriously went into it. Like they gave me a lot of notes about like distance from the camera and like lighting, where to put it, et cetera, things that you don't normally think about. Also, the bit about redoing your tapes 1,000 times. You need to learn how to pace yourself and like give yourself a break after like filming the same song 12 times over and over again. You need to like learn how to space it out, which is something I did not think about until recently.
Okay, so you both had it really hard because, like I said, now you have to be not only the performer, the lighting designer, the stage manager, the camera operator. It's like all the stars say the same thing. And then you've entered this competition like, oh my God, I thought I just had to sing, but then you have to do all this other stuff. So out of all the weeks, what was the one song you had to do over and over and over? Like, what was the song that gave you the most trouble? Any of you could start with this one.
Okay, yeah. My last song, Endless Night, I had to sing that over and over and over because I actually moved back from school into my garage to record those tapes. And it was actually quite an experience. My dad would like honk the horn of the car and then I'd have to start over, but it was totally fine. And so I like broke that take up over like 3 days. And then on the third day, I got a nice take and was like, nice. But definitely that one.
Oh, I love that one. Mia, for you.
Yeah, the third week, I actually got the worst cold like ever. And that was when I did Never Have Seen Snow. So like no chest voice would come out of my mouth at all. So I was like, what a better time than now to give us some legit soprano. So I did that. However, it took me about like 12 times to get one without like throwing a coughing fit.
See, but this is the now we live in. Like all the judges do the same thing. They're like, all of a sudden they get to that last note and their dog would bark or just whatever, or, something would just, the camera would shut off or something like that. So it's just as frustrating for everybody else as it was for you. That's hilarious. Listen, what has the experience been like with being a part of this competition? As you look back at all the weeks, any of you can take this to start with. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Okay.
This experience was absolutely amazing. I'm so grateful for the support that I received, not only from the judges, but of course from you, Richie, and from my family and friends and everyone who voted. It was very surreal each week finding out that I was moving on, because every week I was like, oh, this is the one. I always like prepare myself for the worst. I'm like, oh, this is the one. It's okay. I'm grateful to have gotten this far. But then they would say my name again, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I was also like busy all the time filming, but it was like incredibly worth it.
I love it. Jackson.
Yeah, this experience has meant so much to me. Similar to what Mia said, everything that she said actually was very valid for me as well. But on top of that, meeting the other competitors in the high school competition and getting close with them throughout the process really kind of created a support system for me through it. And I loved it so, so much. And that on top of the fact that my family and my friends all kind of came together to support me through it was really meaningful. Especially since a lot of my family apparently didn't know I sang. So it's like cool. But yeah, it meant a lot.
How did they not know that you sang? You blew all the judges away.
You know, well, none of us really live close. Like, you live in the South, all far away from each other, that kind of thing. And so, or they knew I sang, but they didn't know I sang, you know?
Really sang like showbiz, like Broadway sing. How did you each choose the songs you did each week? Mia, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so week one was For Forever from Dear Evan Hansen. I picked something that would give a good first impression and like grab people's attention. So I did a Jill Genderbend moment. And then the second week was Our Lady of the Underground from Hadestown. I wanted to do something to show more like jazz sensibilities as opposed to like classical musical theater. And like I said, the third week I got really sick and could not belt a single note. So I decided to do some legit soprano. So Never Has Seen Snow. And I love Audra McDonald with every bone in my body, so love that. And then fourth week was Dogfight, was Nothing Short of Wonderful. Showed more like the comedic sensibilities. It was a nice patter song. And then last was Fly Fly Away, and the judge just said, pick something you just love to sing. And I was like, I just love it. I love the acting chops in it. I love where it sits in my voice. I just love it so much.
That's beautiful. Jackson, for you, song choices each week.
Yes, so Enjoy the Trip was my first song from Bring It On. I chose that because I was in that show and then the show got canceled, that whole thing. My second song was Hero and Leander by Adam Ghetto from Myth and Hymns. I love him. He's kind of underground, not really, but kind of. That song is so good. And I chose that one because it was a little bit of like a singy song, so I was able to show that like I have chops, that type of thing. The next week I sang Lonely House from Street Scene. That one was interesting. It was kind of like, what should I do? I don't have anything, but I had worked on that with my voice teacher one week, so I was like, I'll just do that one. But it helped me show a lot of different colors based on the first two songs that I did, so that was really nice. And then my fourth song, which was the favorite song I sang in the whole competition, was Leo's Statement from Parade. That's just one of my favorite songs of all time, so I was like, I'm just gonna sing it. And then the last song, I sang Endless Night from The Lion King. And I said earlier in the competition that Simba in The Lion King was my dream role. So I was like, might as well. So I was like, Endless Night.
Because I think that the judges said they should just cast you on Broadway a Simba like today or whatever. I think I remember that was, they were all like, he should just be Simba like tomorrow. Just, MJ was like, I'm going to call Thomas Schumacher and said, I've got somebody, But I just love that you both chose, you went all over the, the Great American Broadway Songbook. Like you said, the Diane Carroll song, of course, that Audra sang, Never Has Seen Snow, and then you did all this other stuff. I mean, just Street Scene. I mean, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff, both of you. Which piece of feedback was the most useful for each of you during the competition? Mia, I'll start with you. During the weeks, what was the most useful for you?
Yeah, this was equal parts a singing competition and a self-tape like masterclass. Like the information that I learned about self-tapes and how to technically go about them, that was super, super valuable. And then also the last bit where they just emphasized singing songs that you like. Because I remember a while ago when I was first building up my book, I had a bunch of songs in there that might have sounded good in my voice, but I didn't enjoy singing. Like after a while, just get sick of them. But to emphasize just picking songs that you just love to sing and that you will never get tired of was something that I will take with me.
Beautiful. Jackson, for you, best bit of advice from the judges.
Yes, early on, I think the first episode, MJ had told me that he really liked my authenticity because I came on with a do-rag and like a sleeveless vest, which is what I wear. But it was really empowering to hear that from him and the judge panel as a whole, because sometimes I stay to myself or I close off parts of myself for other people. But doing this competition has really kind of showed me that I can really be whatever I want to be myself wherever. I go and whatever I do. So I think that really stuck with me, not even just in performing, but outside of it as well.
See, this is what all the judges said between the high school and the college. You know, be unique, be yourself. I mean, they have all these other people. Don't try to be someone else. You two are so unique with who you each are. And that's what's going to get you cast. And that's what's going to get a casting director. It's like, oh my gosh, Mia is Mia. Jackson is Jackson. They are themselves. You know, we all want to be other people. Like over the years, people say, oh, I wish I sang like so-and-so. I wish I looked like so-and-so. But those people already exist. And they'll cast them. So that's what we loved about this year's competition too. You two are so specific, you're your own selves, and you just go on your own journey. And that's a really important thing. So kudos to both of you for that.
Thank you.
What was it like watching the finale? I mean, we taped the finale and I had goosebumps. I could only imagine what it was like for you two. So Mia, what was it like watching the finale?
Yeah, so I am currently in LA, and the day of the finale, it was the day before I left. So I was literally packing frantically while watching the finale and like drinking my little Starbucks. And I get so embarrassed when I have to watch myself with other people. So I made my family watch downstairs. Well, I watched upstairs alone because I cannot do it. But I was watching it. The butterflies that I got in my stomach were literally insane as the time went on. And then when they said my name, I remember I was recording to like get my reaction just for funsies. And I watch it back and get so happy because I just, the biggest smile ever. I was so, so grateful. Insane experience.
Okay, so you watched alone in your room, but your watch party was downstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Where did you watch the finale, and did you have a watch party?
Yes, so actually I'm at a summer program right now, so I was actually not able to watch the finale live, which is really weird. But my friends and my family all contacted me simultaneously to tell me that I won, and it was one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life. After that, though, I excused myself and decided that I should probably watch the finale. So I watched the whole thing a few times, at least 3, like the entire finale, because everybody was so good. And so I love hearing the feedback. I would go through and watch other people's feedback over and over because I think it's so interesting. But I watched the finale quite a few times, and hearing my name called by the judges that who've been there for me this whole process, it really, really was uplifting and empowering. Because in my mind, I had already thought, I've made it this far. I've won enough. Like, this has been a great experience. But then I actually won. And it's like, wait a minute. I won too much. But it was really, really fulfilling.
You know, it's so interesting because this is a numbers game. Like America votes on you, so that's got to be so surreal. I don't know how I would have gotten through the week, like saying, "Do I know enough people, or do you think enough people across America would actually vote for me?" That's got to be the weirdest thing. Like, you know, just like getting to the next week and hoping that you were a part of all that. You know, is there someone there's so many wonderful people along the way. I'm sure there were voice teachers. Are there some people who helped you along the way that you'd like to give a big shout out to that got you to where you are today?
Yes, I would love to shout out the UNCSA High School Drama Program for helping me with self-taping. Yeah, that was huge. Plus my voice teacher from home, Jeffrey Carlson, has really, really helped me through it.
Yeah. Mia, for you.
My voice teacher from high school prepared me for all of this. When I was in high school, I didn't even know that this was what I wanted to do, and she influenced me to go for it. Elisa Mendelaire, love her to pieces. She's so talented, and she's taught me so well. I love her.
That's great. Do you have a message for your fellow competitors that were competing with you in this? I know some of you got to know them during, I'm sure you texted some of them. What message would you have for each of them? Anybody can go first. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm so inspired by all of you. Every week, it was just like every week, I was consistently amazed by everybody that I was competing with. And I loved watching your performance, and it inspired me to do better. I was pushed by each of you, and each week it hurt me to see you guys go. Like, it was really sad as the numbers got smaller and smaller. But I'm really, really glad that I got to share this experience with all of you guys.
Beautiful. Mia, for you.
Same, I echo all of that. You guys are so, so talented and such kind-hearted people too. It's one thing to be talented, but to have like such good character and to be so grateful makes me so happy. I love watching you guys every week. And if y'all ever want to collab, hit me up because you're insane and I love you all.
Now, you two chose two wonderful organizations to give your money to. Mia, tell me what the Actress Fund means to you.
Oh my goodness, to go from this crazy past year back slowly but surely into theater is making me so happy. I'm loving to see it. And I know that a lot of small theaters, little mom and pop theaters have been struggling a lot through the pandemic. And hopefully, I hope that this gets to them. I hope that it supports them and lets them know that it's coming back and you will be financially secure and stable soon.
Beautiful. Now, Jackson, for you, I love the fund for college auditions, what that means to you.
Yeah, I love the fund for college auditions. The college audition process is a super long process that requires a lot of resources, requires travel, materials to record, lessons, coaching, all of that. And it kind of makes the college audition process a game of privilege in a way. It's how much resources do you have often determines like if you get into certain schools. And this organization works to combat that and to allow people to be seen for who they are, regardless of privilege. And I am so fond of that, and that's really close to my heart.
Beautiful. My final question is, what's the next step for each of you? What's next as you're coming in? You just won the competition, but I mean, what's next for the summer now? Like, Mia, what's up? What's next for you?
Yeah, so I actually made the very difficult decision to leave Syracuse, and these next few months I'm just going to be working and auditioning, and that's probably the scariest decision I've ever made. But as the next few weeks go by, I've become more and more secure in that decision. Very grateful for my first year there, but I want to see what the working world has to offer.
Beautiful. Jackson, for you.
I am currently in a production of Hello Dolly at the Southeastern Summer Theater Institute. It's cool. I play Cornelius. But also after this summer, I'll be going to the University of Michigan to study musical theater. So yeah.
That is so great. Listen, the two of you, you have nothing but the future ahead of you. You have your whole lives ahead of you to do whatever you want to do in show business. You're all so talented at what you do. Just remember what I've told everybody, follow your own path. Be who you are. Don't be somebody else. Just be your true selves, which the two of you are, and you'll achieve whatever you need to achieve or want to achieve. This has been so great. I've had the best time on season 3, and it's been so great to get to know you two.
Thank you, you too.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Everybody, please keep watching Broadway World. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and Twitter to find all about the latest Broadway news and when the next On Stage Singing Competition Season 4 will kick off. Take care, everyone.